Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for your support. Today I'm going to be talking about an album that took my breath away, and it's Kenny Burrell's Guitar Forms. It's a new release in the Verve Acoustic Sounds Jazz Series. I'll tell you all about this amazing record in just a moment. Before I get started, if you're new and haven't already, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support the channel, and it's free to do. Just hit like, subscribe, and notification. Also, this and other releases in the Verve Acoustic Sounds Jazz Series, as well as all other major audiophile series, are available in my Pressing Matter storefront that's listed in the description box below. Just click that link. It takes you to an Amazon affiliate storefront where you can shop all the titles that I've curated, and your patronage is very much appreciated. It does make a big difference, so thank you so much for doing that. So let's get on to this. I started with Kenny Burrell in the Tone Poet era. The second year of the Tone Poets, I was auditioning stuff to buy my first Tone Poet. And I kept coming back to one that was my favorite, and it was this. This is Introducing Kenny Burrell. I love this record. It sold me on the Tone Poet series. It was my very first Tone Poet, and I couldn't have picked a better one. I love it. From there, I knew about this from the cover. I knew I wanted to get this, and this is from the Classic series. Sorry for all the plastic. These are in vinyl storage solution sleeves. This one is a beautiful late night listen. I actually did a video on this record talking about its late night listen qualities, so please check out that video. Another one that is stunning is this one from the Prestige series. It's called Bluesy Burrell. Wonderful, wonderful record. Great sound, wonderful pressing, great jacket. We're really spoiled with Kenny Burrell records. And this one, this is a later one in the Tone Poet series. It's an early record. It's called Kenny Burrell, self-titled. It's Blue Note 1543. I haven't really spent a lot of time with that one, so I can't comment too much on that. I will withhold my remarks about that. But let's talk about why this is so special. As I was auditioning this on streaming, by the time the second track finished, I hit buy. I was so taken with this second track. But I'll talk about the rest of this in general. This was recorded in 1964 and 65. It was released in 65. It was recorded by Rudy Van Gelder in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. So it has a good pedigree as far as engineering. What really is interesting about this, though, is it's a collaboration with Gil Evans. I know a little bit about Gil Evans, not a lot. What I do know is from his album Out of the Cool on Impulse. I knew his style and what he does, and he conducts and arranges the orchestra for this album. It's not a string orchestra, it's mostly brass instruments and other percussion instruments, I think. It creates a soundscape around Kenny Burrell, each one appropriate for whatever he's doing on this, and he's going through quite a range of styles on this album. It's kind of a showcase for different guitar styles, such as blues, bossa nova, flamenco, Spanish, and so forth, classical. There's a little bit of everything, and in this album he shows that he is well versed in all of these genres and can play virtually anything. A Spanish guitar, an electric guitar, beautiful, beautiful sound. The balance between Kenny and the orchestration is perfect, really beautiful. The first tune is kind of a rock and blues number. It reminded me a lot of Chet Atkins, actually. It's called Downstairs, just a short track, 2 minutes and 44 seconds, but in it he shows off that kind of style, and it's really fun, a way to open the album. But it was Lotus Land, the second track, that really took my breath away. And prompted me to buy this album. To me, that track is worth the price of the album. It's a 9-minute track. In it, he explores Spanish guitar themes, a little bit of flamenco style, Spanish style, and the orchestration from Gil Evans just fills it out with this subtle background of horns, trumpets, and so forth. There are some castanets and things like that, very, very subtle in the background. And it's just a panorama of sound that's so, so impressive. You know, when I heard that track, I was like, this reminds me so much of something. And I know exactly what it is. I reviewed a record called Siesta by Marcus Miller and Miles Davis. And I swear to God, they must have been influenced by this, because the sound of Siesta, the orchestrations in the back sound very similar, a little bit more modern. The guitar up front and the atmospheric soundstage with Miles Davis doing some soloing. It reminds me so much of this, including the castanets and everything. It's really amazing. If you've ever heard Siesta, please check that out. You'll know what I'm talking about, but please check it out if you haven't heard it. I did a review of it. I'll leave a link for it below. But that track here is really special. But it doesn't end there. It also goes into another blues number called Terrace Theme. That's a little more traditional blues. And Prelude number 2. This is a Gershwin tune, Gershwin piece, I should say. I don't know if it's a tune, it's classical. But it's only a brief excerpt, unfortunately, but he does straightforward classical guitar playing for this. The rest is just as good. There's a couple of highlights on the second side, I'm sorry. Moon and Sand has wonderful percussion opening the track, and it really shows off the depth and spread of your stereo and the soundstage and so forth. There is another classical tune called Green Sleeves that's orchestrated as well. And my favorite on the second side is called Last Night When We Were Young. It's a ballad, and it's gorgeous, and it starts out with Kenny Burrell just solo, and you think it's going to be solo all the way through. But it shifts in the second half to having orchestration. So very subtle. It just comes in, just like very subtle horns and so forth, and gives it an atmosphere of beauty and grandeur. It's just amazing what Gil Evans can do in these backgrounds. I can't recommend this highly enough. It is one of my favorite Verve Acoustic Sounds Jazz Series releases. I say that almost with every one, but really, this series is a winner. I mean, they've only had one minor hiccup, and that was with the last one, the Diana Krall. Some people were getting defective copies, and it seems, although I don't have official word, it seems like it's being repressed because it's gone back to pre-order status after being out for a couple of months. So we'll see what happens there. If you did get a bad one, just make sure you return it and get a return policy, and you can order when the new repress happens. But high recommendation for this. Ryan Smith did a beautiful job cutting this. The pressing is flawless, as usual. And this is such a treat for fans of Kenny Burrell. I can't recommend it highly enough. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'm Scott for The Pressing Matters. Have a great day.